In this video, we'll explore Blameless's reliability insights, what they are, what you can do with them, and finally, I'll walk through creating a basic reliability insight. When you first receive a Blameless instance, your Reliability Insights page will contain 4 default insights. They will undoubtedly be blank until you start creating some incidents because it needs data to graph. Any of these can be copied and used as a sandbox to try different things. Or you can copy the whole board, rename it, and use it as a whiteboard to experiment. Inside of a board, the individual graphs are called tiles. Here you can see the incidents by severity and the incidents by type tiles. The ellipses in the upper right allows you to enter full screen mode, escape to exit, or duplicate an entire board, give it a name, and select Create. Here, I've created my own board, DG Exercise. Boards that are not one of the original 4 default boards give you the option of customization. Note the little pencil and ellipses on each tile. Clicking the pencil icon allows a user to modify the properties of the graph. More on this shortly. The ellipses allow the user to modify other options. For example, Edit the tile's properties allow you to edit the name and description of a tile. On this tile, you can see the name of the tile and the description in a slightly smaller font. You can also duplicate the tile, which gives you an exact replica of the tile on the current board. Very handy if you want to make another tile with only a few property changes in it. You can duplicate a tile to another board, which leaves the tile on the board you're at and gives you an exact replica on another board. Or, if you want to move a tile from this board to another, this is the option to choose. A use case here might be doing your development on one board, and once it's perfected, move it into place. You can also export a tile. Pictures of the tile can be exported in JPEG, PNG, or SVG formats. You can also get a PDF of the tile, or export all of the data in the tile as a comma-separated value. Finally, the tile can be exported via the Blameless API. Clicking API here gives you the pre-formatted curl statement containing all of the information. The ellipsis is also the place if you want to delete the tile altogether. Tiles can be moved around a board and resized to meet your needs. The graphics and fonts will change accordingly. Let's go ahead and create a very basic reliability insight. This is going to be a Hello World version of a dashboard. In that, I'm only going to use 2 variables or fields from the dozens that are available to choose from. I'm going to create an insight that shows the number of incidents created per day. To start, I'm going to select the Add Tile box in the upper right of the board I'm currently on. Next, we'll select a data source from the 5 available. Here, I'll use the Incident Management data source. Confirm creates the new tile. I'll go ahead and move it to the bottom of the board, as we just saw. Next, click Build Tile Query. That takes us to the Fields selection screen, where you see 7 categories to choose from. Each category has multiple selections. Some of these fields are time-based. For example, these 5 are all times that correspond with the times created for an incident. Some fields will contain a yes or a no. For example, incident muted and incident Slack channel is private. This allows logic to be applied, as in only graph the incidents that are private. So different fields contain different forms of data. To create our graph, I'm going to choose 2 fields, incident type and incident created. Note how the selected fields appear at the top. Under each field is a drop-down box that allows you to do a bit of refinement on that field. For the incident created field, I'm going to refine that field by date. I'll choose Next to continue. This takes us to the data refinement screen where we can add filters, format the data, etc. The first thing I'm going to do is use formatting to take the time away and just leave the date, separated with a dash. Next, note that we are seeing data from several years ago. I'll change the sort order to descending, which will give us the latest incident created at the top. Now, note how 4 of these incidents were created on the 28th. What I want to do is group all of the incidents for a single date into a single line, and I'll use the aggregation option here to do that. Notice that by grouping the dates, the incident type has been concatenated. Dates that have several incident types are now listing what those types are on the same line as the date. What we want to do now is get a count of all of the incident types for each date. And to do that, I will simply change concatenate to count, which leaves us with individual dates in the rightmost column and the number of incident types that were used in the left. This is what we set out to graph. However, I'm going to add one additional embellishment. In the rightmost column, I'm going to select Filters and select Rolling Window. I'll put 30 in the top window and 0 in the lower window. And you'll note the units are set to days. So now we are looking at the last 30 days of data, and that is rolling. So regardless of when someone looks at it, they'll be looking at the last 30 days. Next, to continue, the data visualization screen is where we select how we want our graph or table to appear. Graphing formats include data tables, data tiles, bar charts and stacked bar charts, horizontal stacked bars, area graphs, scatter plots, line or multi-line graphs, pie, and radar charts. Note that only the charts available to you, given your formatting, are available. The other sections are grayed out. For our graph, I'm going to choose the area chart, and there you have it, a simple reliability insight in the Blameless UI. Select Finish to finish. Mouse over for further details. To finish our graph, we'll go ahead and edit the tile properties.